Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is On Thin Ice, the podcast where Jacob and I come here together weekly, every Monday, actually, if you didn't already know that, because this is your first time here. Just kidding. Better not be. But if it is, I hope this episode finds you well. We discuss icebreaker questions. That was the rest of that thought that I didn't finish
Yeah,
because I can't complete my sentences.
yeah.
Icebreaker questions every single Monday. Me, Peyton, him, Jacob. We talk.
We talk.
and and then it goes Haywall from Haywall
Haywire.
Haywire. It fucking bounces and it's gone. That's the conversation every week. That's how it goes, and
Hell
that's
yeah.
kind of the thematic theme of this. Can you use thematic to describe theme? Does that work?
It's a thematic theme. No,
Exactly. That's
that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
I'm making it work.
All right. Not
Listen,
gonna catch
man.
any objections from me.
Who's in college as the English major right now?
Not I.
Yeah, I'm making rules. That's what we do in my department. All right, we decide what works and what doesn't.
That's fair. You got me. You got me on that one.
Dude, all right. How you been? I'm done talking. I need a break.
Well, as I discussed already, I woke up today and then it was all of a sudden 6 o'clock and I didn't know where my day went. I fucking played so much Mines of Moria, or returning to Moria, or whatever the fuck it's called. It's a fun game, not gonna lie. It's a little bit buggy, but super fun. I also, um, you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about the plugins and the choirs. That's not even gonna happen. We're gonna move on from there. But also been playing a lot of Helldivers recently. That's about it, really.
Hey, that's fun though.
Yes, it
Probably.
is.
I don't know because I'm the one person that doesn't play it yet,
But you will, and you're gonna have a good
but I
time.
will.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Dude, you need to get on and start playing that way by Friday. When we stream, you can jump in and play with us.
You know what? No. I think instead I'm gonna do homework.
That sounds awful. I'm gonna buy it for you, and then you're gonna have no choice.
If you bought it for me, yeah, I'd probably be more swayed towards doing it. If I'm being completely honest.
Well, if I didn't just drop a couple of doubloons on some
A couple
some
of doubloons.
choirs, I probably would. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have an issue, especially if you're having fun with it, which I'm sure you will. Like I am almost guaranteeing that you will have fun with it.
It looks good. I think I've already said that on here, but man, and I'm sure by the time this episode airs, it's already like everyone in the world's already been playing it, and they know. Maybe it's fallen off by this point. That would be really funny if it's
Doubt it.
something of the past already.
Big doubt. I bet you it's gonna be good for a while. It's got a really seamless gameplay loop, and now, like I said, I think I said on From the Crypt, if this was the same gameplay loop that we had for like 2 years, yeah, that would be stale. I would definitely stop playing. Probably in another like 4 months, I probably wouldn't touch it again. But the updates that are coming with it already that we know of are, in my opinion, already looking promising. Plus, there's already tons of room for expansion and development and new missions and new factions to fight, new guns, new stratagems. Like, there's tons of stuff that they can add, tons of stuff that they're already adding, stuff that they are fixing. The server issues aren't even a thing anymore, so that's cool. So mainly just like a couple of bugs that we've encountered, which haven't been, I mean, they've been kind of annoying, not gonna lie, but nothing that is nearly as frustrating as bugs that you find in like Call of Duty or honestly any game that's been coming out recently has just had a shit ton of bugs in it. But
Isn't fighting bugs like half the game?
yeah, but those are shut up. But when they incorporate the Illuminates, which I'm sure they probably will here soon, or the Cyborgs or whatever, that'll be fun. And we're not even tired of fighting the automatons and bugs yet, so if that shows
Yeah.
anything, plus adding more factions later on, it's going to be a good time for a while.
When they just turn it into Warhammer 40k, inevitably.
there's a ton of 40k references like in the game. There's a ton of Lord of the Rings or D&D stuff referenced as well. Tons of Gears of War references, and there's tons of just stuff that they have incorporated into the game that is like just paying homage to some of the games that were heavily influencing the development of it. So that's pretty cool to see. There's even a fucking game master. There's a guy named Joel who's been officially dubbed the game master, and he'll just randomly, or maybe it's not random, but if he sees people that are doing too well, he'll fuck their game up somehow by like making it take longer for your stratagems to come in, or adding more bugs, or dropping in more Bile Titans and stuff. Like, that's got to be a super fun game, dude, or job. But his official title is Game Master, and it's just amazing. I love it.
Just being an absolute savage of an admin.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you call in the Pelican to extract from a mission, like after you've completed the mission, you go to an extraction point and you call in this Pelican. Normally the countdown timer is 2 minutes, and you have to survive for 2 minutes while you wait for the Pelican to come in, right? And most of the time there's a shit ton of bugs and or automatons that will spawn during that 2 minutes, so that's the incentive to obviously survive and keep pushing for those 2 minutes till a Pelican comes in. Well, a couple days ago, Joel, this little bitch Joel, I'm pretty sure he increased the timer by double, or maybe it was a percentage, I don't remember, but it was 4 minutes that we had to survive until that Pelican came. And this is after we had already depleted our stratagem usages of like redeploys and stuff. Like if an enemy fall, or if one of your teammates falls, you could redeploy them, but you only have like, I think like if you're playing with 2 people, you have 10. If you're playing with 4 people, you have 15 or something. I don't know off the top of my head. But once those are deployed or depleted, you have to wait like 2 minutes for another one to come in. And then if the mission timer's done, you don't get any more. So by the time you call that Pelican in, if you gotta wait for 4 fucking minutes for it to get in there, dude, it's nuts. It gets intense very fast.
Glad Joel's keeping you on your toes then. What a good guy.
Not gonna lie, that was infuriating. Because we had gotten done with one mission when we first found out that this was a thing, and we had just gone through the ringer. We had just gotten our shit pushed into our anuses. I mean, it was a very hard mission. And we're all on our way to the extract. We're like, all right, look, guys, I'm going to call it in. We're good to go. 2 minutes. We only got 2 minutes left. I called it in. I looked at the timer, and it said 4 minutes. And I'm like, what? What do you mean 4 minutes? We were already like low on everything. We'd already gotten our shit duffed several times. Like, I was like, guys, I hate to break it to you, but I think Joel changed the timer on this shit. We got 4 minutes. Not 2 minutes. 4.
Dude, what if you got your normal 2 minutes and it got down to 1 second, and then you started seeing it went 2, 3, and it starts counting upwards? Like, whoa, dude. Whoa, what the fuck is happening here?
I would be pissed. But no, dude, it's super fun. It's super fun regardless of the wrenches that Joel will throw at us from time to time. It's good stuff. And just seeing the community like get so involved with it is super cool. Like seeing people actually like legit mourn over Malevelon Creek when it got taken by the automatons and shit. Like, it's become like an actual status within the community and whatnot. It's phenomenal. So when we lost Malevelon Creek again to the automatons, people were like, no, this shit's fucked up. Fuck you, automatons, for democracy. And then they fucking just came in and suicide bombed themselves and shit. I probably shouldn't say that, but anyway, it's fun, super exciting, and you should play it.
Hey, maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep being stubborn. I'll just keep with the bit.
Dude, if you do that, I'm just gonna be stubborn and say fuck it and buy it for you.
That sounds like a win-win for me. And then I still don't play it, and you've just wasted $40,
dude.
40 doubloons.
Don't even do that to me, man. Don't even do that to me.
You can't control me.
Joel can.
Joke comes through my house. I just see a timer spawn above my head that says 4 minutes. There's a helicopter, like a Black Hawk, hovering over my house.
You have 4 minutes to buy the game and play it. Oh, dude, it's so good.
That'd be so terrifying.
But, yeah. Anyway, what about yourself? What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot.
Not
Really, it's
Helldivers.
just been not Helldivers. Haven't been playing that. Uh, I don't. I don't think I need to talk about like all the stupid shit happening. I guess like a quick thing is I'm pretty sure that my tires are fucked on my car.
Oof.
Every morning I go out there and I see that one tire is low by about 10 psi. I just fill it up, and by the next time I check it again, it's all fucked. It's great. I love it so
Sounds like
much.
you got a hole in there, boy.
I don't know, maybe. There was also a windstorm that came through here, and I just started hearing this like thumping against the side of our house earlier this week, and I could not make heads or tails of what was happening. I would look out all the windows to see because I thought a piece of the garage flew off and it was just bouncing around in our backyard. Meanwhile, I go out to my car and I take one look around, and I have our house, and then I have a piece of our house that's just hanging off of the house. It's a metal piece of the siding, and it's slapping against the house all fucking day long, and it's like one of those simple monkeys just fucking clapping nonstop. So when I'm trying to read or do anything, and I just hear that whooshing tin sound banging against the house, luckily today I went and I found, because I didn't know what nails or screws I needed to fix this. I'm still a relatively new homeowner. When you're a homeowner, you have to fix all this shit yourself. You would think insurance would cover this stuff. Probably not.
No.
But no, I end up going to some like a Homestead Lumber we have here in town, and they hooked me up with the right nails. Took 2 nails. I walked out there on that wet roof in my socks, and I just fucking 8-ounce hammer nailed that shit back in place.
Hell yeah. Get her
Didn't
done.
fall off. Saw that the gutters were also full of slime and sludge, and I was like, you know what? Not my problem today. I'll take care of that another time.
That's a springtime painting job right there.
Yeah.
Did you see did you see or hear about the barge in Fort Madison?
No, what happened there? What is happening in this image?
That is a barge that
Is that on shore?
it got blown on shore from the wind, and they are having a very hard time getting it out.
I remember when that happened and it destroyed the national economy, but it's Fort Madison, so no one actually cares. It looks like a bullet train, but it's a boat.
Yeah. It got blown into the shoreline, and referring to the wind that you were just talking about.
Yeah. Wind is powerful, everyone, if you didn't know. Sometimes it's just like, oh, it blows a little bit, but like wind and water, especially when they mix, when you start doing some Avatar shit like that and it's bending boats,
Yeah.
it can cause some real damage.
These dudes, why are they so damn loud out here?
Who are we yelling at?
Chelsea and Dean are out there gabbing away, loud as
Don't
fuck.
they? Tell them to start a podcast.
I'm gonna tell them to shut the
place-
hell up. Is what I'm gonna do.
There's places for that. Damn. I spent more money on movies. I'm ready to almost start making movie update an actual segment on the podcast. Like just a 5 to 10 minute movie review every time I get something new, because it's becoming a problem. I don't even know. Nah, fuck it. I might as well. I already said it. I gotta show it. So I got this, right? This isn't a steelbook. This is a full fucking set of steelbooks. It's what's called the Harry Potter Dark Arts 4K Steelbook Collection.
Nice.
It's so beautiful, man.
It is very nice. That is very.
I'm
that is
gonna
very
op-
nice.
I'm gonna open it, but man, That's so cool. And then it comes with like it's got some trinkets too in there, some little goodies.
Hell yeah.
Aside from the 4K versions of every one of these Harry Potter movies, which Harry Potter's fantastic, but no one cares anymore, and I need to stop. God, I need to stop.
I
Our
love
Walmart got a fucking steelbook section, and it's bad.
I love Harry Potter, dude. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you want to see me turn movie update into a whole thing.
Do
I'll
it.
just I'll just show you my bookshelf full of movies every week, and you'll see that it slowly increases in size.
Hell yeah. Just add new
Oh
shelves
man,
every week.
you know what though? Movies suck. Games are awesome. You know why games are awesome?
Why is that?
Just so many reasons. That's gonna be today's topic though. I
Okay.
added I added a question
I didn't even
that
look at it.
exactly, yeah. So we're stealing this. I'm stealing this, I should say. You had nothing to do with it. I take full credibility
All
and
right.
criminality.
Fair.
We're stealing an episode of Distractable. Fantastic podcast. Go watch it. Those guys are actually competent and have, you know, mics that don't sound like they're inside of a fucking tin shed. But
Hey, my mic sounds great.
what I want to know, Jacob,
My mic sounds
what I
great.
want to have a big long discussion about is what games would you remaster, make sequels for, or change entirely if
Dude,
you had the opportunity to?
easy. I already made a video about this on my main channel.
Good, because I had to make a list, so I knew what I was talking about.
So, first one, easy first one, would be Draken, The Ancient Gates. PlayStation 2 game, came out a while ago. You play it now, it's clunky as fuck. The controls are so out of whack. It's such a chore to play. The mechanics of it are kind of straightforward, but they're also really fucking irritating to actually get right. And for anybody that knows what game I'm talking about, you know, you already know. However, it was one of the first like really it was one of the first games that I remember getting from our Planet Video that we had down the road from our house. It was like a Blockbuster or a Family Video or whatever, but I rented this all the time. I loved it as a kid, and it was just super fun. I have recently played it as an adult. It would have been a couple years back now, but
Dude, I've got to cut you off. I'm gonna go not actually beat my dog's ass, but I'm gonna let him out because he's being a little fucking crybaby. Because he waits until I'm super busy in the middle of something, and then he goes oh all the time because he needs to go out and take a shit or pee. I'm swearing too much, so I'm already heated. Keep telling them about this game though. I will come back.
okay. So basically,
Damn it.
it's just a super fun idea, and the ability to ride around on Aeroc, your dragon and stuff, is just super fun. I think that it absolutely 110 billion% deserves a remaster. I think it deserves a remake, to be honest with you. I think a remake from the ground up would be phenomenal. I think that if they were to bring it into today's gens, PlayStation 5, you know, sorry, they brought it into PS5 and the newest Xbox, whatever it is, or PC, and we're able to obviously increase the graphics up a little bit, make the controls a little bit more smooth and a little bit more intuitive, it would be just insane. I think it would be super fun. I would love to play it remastered. I would love for it to get a sequel. If they're not going to remaster it, they could at least make a sequel for it. That'd be fun. But I do believe it started as a PC game, like a really old PC game, a long time ago. There's another Draken that's out there I've never played, but I did play the shit out of Ancient Gates. And
Is the other one a sequel?
actually, I think it's the one that comes before it.
Ooh.
So Ancient Gates comes after that one, I think. But I don't. I mean, you don't really need to know the rest of it to like know what's going on in this one. It kind of explains a little bit going through there, but it just suffers from its time. I think that's the biggest thing, and I would very much love to see it remastered or remade. I would like to see a remake of it just from the ground up, like they did with another game I'll talk about later. But good.
Some games need that though, because like when you said the controls for it were very clunky, like that comes with building it up to a new system too. What did you say it was released on? PS2?
Yeah, PS2.
Yeah, it's gonna need fixing.
I have a perfectly good example, again, that I'll talk about later, but there's one in particular that they did it with that just, I mean, smooth as butter, dude. It runs so fucking well, and it's actually a really, really good remake.
Yeah.
But go ahead, go ahead.
My biggest one for remaster wise is The Force Unleashed, and I've had this conversation with a couple of people.
Nice.
Anyone who's played The Force Unleashed loves The Force Unleashed because it was a really good fucking game.
It was fun.
I I talked about my DS that I got recently, I think on another episode, but I've been playing the shit out of The Force Unleashed. It's the first game I played since getting it because that was my childhood. And it's so fucking ugly and trash on the DS, but it's still a ton of fun, and the story is really interesting. And I would love to see the Force Unleashed with ray tracing or just something equivalent like that. I think it's a really fun thing, and it could be a super sweet opportunity. I know, like, I mean, it's something they can put on the back burner forever because there are a million games that can come before that. They're pushing out. Actually, it might have come out already, but the original Star Wars Battlefronts 1 and 2, they got it remade,
Yeah. Well,
which is huge.
yeah, they're all right.
No, you had no. You're not the ones that are currently out that you've played. I'm talking about the original ones on like PlayStation 2 or whatever.
They're just being ported. They're not being remade though.
Oh, well, whatever they're doing with it, they're
They're
making it
they're porting them
better.
to the newer generations. They probably will give them a little bit of a graphic overhaul, like they did with uh, Dark Alliance 1 and Dark Alliance 2. They brought those into the PS4. I mean, you can get them on PS5 too, I think. And I got those. Those are phenomenal. I loved them. I played the shit out of those as well. But basically, they just ported them over, but they enhanced it to where, or they increased the resolution of it. So you can actually make out the details that you couldn't before. And those are both PlayStation 2 games they brought to newer generations, so you can actually see them in full HD, maybe even 4K. I don't know, but they're really good, and I'm glad they did it because I love those games as well. But I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing with the Battlefront games, which is fun.
Well,
That's great because I love, dude. Battlefront 2 was my jam, dude.
I never got to play either of them,
I
but
played the
yeah,
shit out of Battlefront 2.
when I saw those and I first realized that they were older games, I was like, "What is this? You're telling me that there was a Battlefront before there was the EA Battlefronts that fucking suck, apparently."
Well, Battlefront 2, where it's at now, the remake of it anyway, is really good now, but it's still almost impossible to play unless you started playing it when it came out. Because
Mm.
everybody's overpowered as shit now. So you jump into a game now with it, you're going to get demolished. You're not going to fucking get anywhere because
That's what
everybody's
Rainbow
overpowered.
Six
So,
is.
yeah. And I mean, it's cool, and I'm glad that it's in a better state than when it launched because I know a lot of people were pretty pissed, myself included, that it launched pretty bad. But again, if you didn't play it then and you like are not leveled up and you don't have all the good shit or whatever, then oh well. I
Get fucked, nerd.
pretty much. So I don't know, but I am glad to see the Battlefront 1 and 2 were coming to the newer gens because I mean that's what people wanted initially was just to be able to play those games, but on the consoles that were coming out. And if they were
Yeah.
gonna remake them or remaster them or whatever, that's what people were wanting. And if they were gonna remake it like they did, they should have just made it exactly like the game that it already was because people already loved it. But they had to like rewrite the system and shit for whatever reason. And I'm like, nah, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, no, it's super exciting.
Did you
But
have another remaster?
yeah, another one I would like to see remastered is Oblivion. I would like to see Oblivion be remastered.
Elder Scrolls one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, I'm
remade
not
rather.
super well versed in all video games, but okay.
Yeah, no,
I'm catching on.
I would like to see Oblivion made in the style of Skyrim. I would like to see Oblivion, but with updated graphics, probably to surpass Skyrim at this point because Skyrim was what 2011, so they could probably do a lot better now. But yeah, I would like to see it play as smooth as Skyrim did, and updated just to fit the game that it already was. Don't fucking rewrite everything and make it a different game. Just make Oblivion, but better. That's all I want. Another one that I would also like to see in that regard would be Zelda Ocarina of Time. I think that is another one that people would love to see remade in that same kind of way. Ocarina of Time would be a big, big seller. Like, I can't even tell you how many people would probably love to see that remade.
There's a huge fan base out there for Zelda. What was the last one that came out? Was it Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. That was when you could start building stuff, right?
yeah. Tears of the Kingdom is fun. It's super fun, and I played a little bit of it. I got decently far in the main story, but I don't know. I got caught up with a bunch of other stuff, and it's gonna be one of those games that I will put down for a while, and then like next year I'll probably pick it up and no life the shit out of it, and I'll just
Yeah.
completely rail the whole game as hard as I can. Because I did the same thing with Breath of the Wild. I played it for a couple weeks when it came out, or when I got it, and then I didn't touch it for like a whole year. And then when I came back to it, it's like all I played. The only thing I played was Breath of the Wild. I unlocked a bunch of shit. I unlocked all the fucking costumes and the armors and shit you get. Beat the main story, like everything.
So then I've got an extra question for you because this is something that was on my mind as I've been playing Force Unleashed. Do you like games that show you how many hours you've put into it?
Yeah,
I hate it. I
it's a
hate it.
it's like a guilty thing, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It feels like kind of like an accomplishment kind of thing. Like, okay, yeah, I've gotten this much time into it, and I've made this much effort towards getting to this point. But when I start logging my hours in World of Warcraft, eep.
Yikes.
Dude, it's rough.
Yeah.
I've been playing World of Warcraft since I was 9 years old.
Oh
9.
my God, is all that time still accumulated?
No, but
Oh, that
that's
would have been
because it was
awesome.
I know that would have been insane. But the time that I do have, or that I do have access to seeing, is from Mists of Pandaria onward. So like 2013. So from 2013 to now, I can log that time.
About a whole decade worth.
Yeah, long time still. I do have access to my old account, kind of, but the time is not going to be accurate for it because um, I think the main character I had on there was deleted. That account was like dropped years ago, and it got hacked by somebody when I wasn't even playing. I took a break during Cataclysm, or I didn't play during Cataclysm at least, and I came back after Cataclysm into Pandaria, and I had to pretty much redo my whole account because my dad had paid for my account before that point, and by that point they had moved, and I know damn well my dad was not going to pay for my World of Warcraft account. So I'm just sitting there like playing one day, like a year later, and I'm thinking, man, it would be really cool to see like my old characters and shit. Like I wonder if there's any way to like re-upload my account somehow or like transfer my characters or some shit. So I called customer support, and this lady is fucking sick, by the way. She's super chill. She's super nice about it. And I was like, look, I'll be real with you. I know the answer is probably no, but just hear me out. Is there a way I can get an old account that probably doesn't exist? It was paid for by my dad, who definitely doesn't have the same credit card information or whatever by this point. You know, like, I don't know any of the passwords or anything like that. It's been a long time. And she's like, I don't really know. I don't think so. And I was like, man, I was sitting there looking at some of my old discs, and I was like, man, it'd be really cool to see some of my old characters. And she said, wait, what? And I said, yeah, I was looking at my old Wrath of the Lich King discs from that account, and I just got nostalgic. I was just trying to see if I could kind of like re-upload that account. And she's like, "Oh, if you still have the discs, did you have the serial number on the thing, on the like the code on the fucking on the
Ooh.
disc?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, it's right here." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I can get your account back."
Damn.
So I fucking got my account reinstated, and somebody had gotten on my account at that point and like made a couple characters. They deleted a couple characters, and but
It's your dad trying to see what all the hype is.
yeah, yeah, right. My dad fucking hates video games, but
He's like, what am I spending all this money on here for? And then he's just going out and killing warthogs or whatever in the forest for hours.
yeah. But it was cool though.
I don't know anything.
It was cool because like I had stuff in my from my, I think my main character is still active, but I don't know if the time would be accurate. Regardless, I had some stuff in my bank on that character, like items that don't even exist in the game files anymore. So that was kind of cool. Like I had a little piece of history in my bank for items that they don't even put in the game anymore. So that was pretty cool. Some armor pieces and some arrows and shit. You don't have to buy arrows separately anymore like you did back in the day. But I still had arrows in my bank. That was pretty sick.
So were you able to get all that back then? On
Yeah,
your account?
everything that wasn't gotten rid of by that person that got onto my account was still intact. So it was pretty chill. And I can log on to it still, but it's a separate account technically. It's just linked to my Battle.net account, so I'd have to pay a separate subscription for it because they're two separate accounts.
Gotcha.
So it's cool to jump on and just like look at the stuff, but it's not really anything I can do with them. Like I can still log into it, not have to pay a subscription, but I can't do any like I can't trade with people, and I can't do I think raids and dungeons and shit. It's pretty much like a trial account kind of thing is what it's set up as.
Mm,
But
weak. You should call again and get that fixed.
yeah, I mean I could resub if I want, but then I'd be paying for two accounts.
Hey, you dedicated or not?
Honestly, dude, if I could figure out how to multi-box, that'd be fucking great, dude. For anybody that doesn't know, multi-boxing is when you have multiple separate accounts and you max level character on each one of those accounts and keybind all of their spells to the same keys. So if you hit one spell on one character, it hits that spell on every character that's playing at that time that you have linked. And you can just run through and fuck people's days up.
That's way too sweaty for me.
It is really sweaty, and you have to pay for each one of those accounts. So you're
Oh,
paying the money
boy.
for it. But I've seen it happen. It's destroyed several of my main city raids. I used to do my own 40-man like main city raids and go and kill like the capitals of each of the opposing factions and shit. And we got to the last fucking one, and somebody must have tipped this guy off because he showed up right when we got there, and he had a multi-box Unholy Death Knight. So there was like fucking 10 of them, but it was all one character. And Death Knights can summon an army of the dead. So
Yeah.
an army of the dead can like basically spawn like I want to say like 10 ghouls or something like that. So 10 times that. There's just a fuck ton of ghouls all over the place. There's this Death Knight that's maxed out, got a fuck ton of gear, times 10, and just completely wiped the floor with our raid group like it was nothing. It was chaotic as fuck. It was cool, but
You know, they made a South Park episode close to that.
yeah, South Park. South Park was on the WoW train, guys.
That was a great episode.
Pretty sure it's the only episode I've officially watched like all the way through.
So I had to look it up to make sure. Now that I'm switching gears here, for this was just a personal nostalgia thing. I don't know how many people actually know this game, but Resistance: Fall of Man on PS3. You know that game?
No, I don't think so. Let me look it up.
It was a first-person shooter that I would say it kind of combined the worlds of Call of Duty and Halo. Is probably the best way I can sort of explain that.
Oh, I've seen this cover before.
Yeah, uh, yeah, 2006.
Yeah, I've seen the
I
cover
went
before.
into I went into a pawn shop and I found a copy of it. And I don't have a PS3, and of course the PS4. Honestly, not that great of a system, it seems like. Yeah, the game was fucking scary. You should see some of the boss fights in there. Just watch some gameplay of it. But I found it in a pawn shop when I picked it up in case I ever do end up with a PS3 because it was just a very nostalgic game for me, and I think that would be super sweet, even as doesn't even have to be a full remaster, but yeah, like a reboot. I just want to be able to, and technically I could. You can get the super duper whatever PlayStation Plus thing is premium, where you can stream PS3 games onto your PS5 or your PS4. But I've tried that. You got to have a really, really good internet connection to do that, and it's just not worth it. I tried it with The Force Unleashed, and I go and I take one swing with Darth Vader. Dude froze immediately. The whole game just broke. It sucked.
I have a
It was,
I have a PS3.
oh yeah,
Yep.
you wanna send that over my way so I can just play Resistance and send it right back?
I think Caden has it actually. I don't know. I don't know if I brought it with me. So it's actually still in Iowa. Just go steal it from him. He's
I
got a
would
PS4. He
be
probably never touches it. So just
say
go
I would be
steal from
willing to
him.
barter.
Yeah.
I paid a balloon.
Just hit him up. Just be like, man, I'll give you a doubloon or two for that PS3.
That is essentially what happened when I got my Game Boy. I opened up this is a whole different story, but I when I was into Yu-Gi-Oh, I bought these holiday mystery boxes that they had at Walmart, and it had a mystery item in it. One of those items was a Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh Game Boy game. I was like, I've got to get a Game Boy so I can play just this game. And it's the only game I have for the Game Boy. I think I we were in high school, and I was a teacher's assistant, and I was bullying these kids, and I'm like, hey, anybody here got a Game Boy? And one of the kids answered up. I'm like, I will. $40 for the, or maybe it was 30. I don't know. I was broke, still am, but more broke. 'Cause I was making 7.50 an hour at Dairy Queen. But
Oof.
I think I paid like 30 or $40 to this like sophomore for his little Game Boy and charger. And now, of course, the thing doesn't work. It's probably a battery issue, but yeah, just remaster the Game Boy, you know. But yeah, Resistance, just because that one's really close to my heart. I remember my cousin and I playing that, and I couldn't. To this day, I can't understand where to go in video games. I get lost all the fucking time. It's why I had to stop playing The Last of Us. I didn't know what to do.
Oof.
And that was one of those games where he would leave me behind because he's played the game 3 or 4 friggin' times, my cousin, and I would just get eliminated and butt fucked by millions of enemies. He did the same thing in Halo 2, I think it was, where you get to be the arbiter and one of you is chief. But he did that same thing when the flood comes in and you're supposed to run away. I got locked behind some doors. Let me tell you, it turns into alien isolation really quickly. It's not good.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I've got a couple games like that are just nostalgic as shit that I remember having really good times with. One of them, matter of fact, would be awesome for a remake. Is War of the Monsters. You ever played War of the Monsters?
I have not.
It is on newer gen consoles. You can buy it for on PS5 and PS4, I think. I think I have it actually. It was on sale for a while because it got ported over. And I was like, dude, you can bet your sweet ass cheeks I'm going to be getting this. Oh, hell yeah. And I did. And I remember playing this a lot with my buddies. And Deanna, as a matter of fact. Deanna does not play video games. My sister, by the way. She does not play video games. She's not into video games at all. But I remember even her and I would play this a lot. And it's pretty much just a bunch of kaijus. You can pick whichever one you want. There's like 10 of them you can pick from, I think. They each have different skins you can unlock. And there's like, I don't know, several maps. Most of them are referencing like actual real world cities, but they're called something else, I think. But there's like a Tokyo one, and there's like a New York one, and so forth. But then there's unlockable levels as well that you can get to, but it's just an arena, pretty much. You just are dropped into this city with either a computer that you have to fight, or a boss fight for a couple of them if you'd play the story mode, or you can play co-op and beat the fuck out of your sister or your friends or whatever. on War of the Monsters as a giant kaiju. And of course, there's a bunch of different types of kaijus that are referenced from Godzilla and so forth. There's a big like ape. There's a giant praying mantis. There's a giant lizard Godzilla looking thing. But super fun. You just get dropped into the city. The whole city, wherever map you get dropped into, is pretty much entirely destructible. You can find like gas trucks that you can pick up off the floor and throw them, and they'll explode. You can take like the radio antennas off the top of buildings and throw them into your opponents and like stab them and stun them for a little bit. There's power ups. There's special abilities you can use. You can destroy all the buildings until the fucking whole map is flat. Like, it's great.
Dude, when destroyable environments got introduced in the video games, it changed gaming forever, and it was so freaking cool. I still to this day, and I think most people would too, the first time you hop into a game, if you see a car or a window, you try to break that glass.
Yeah.
It's just something really satisfying about it every time.
Dude, you can pick up the cars and just you just eat them shits
Yeah.
across the map. It's great. But you can like break down the buildings, right? And you can pick up chunks of the buildings and throw them at your opponents and into other buildings. You can hit people with like different things that you can pick up and whatnot from the buildings. And there's one map that's like it's like a Vegas style map. It looks like Las Vegas, and there are bits of the map that you can take off, or bits of the buildings and shit that you can take off of them and just like throw them at your opponents and shit. And it's dude, it would be so perfect for a remaster or a remake rather, because I guess technically it was remastered for today's consoles, but a remake or a sequel, dude, that'd be nuts, man. I would buy that shit out of that game.
I'll hop into sequel territory. My favorite game of all time is The Last of Us, probably part two. I go back and forth because I think part one had a better story, but part two really refined its gameplay, and it perfected the gameplay. It was so much easier to play it, and it made more sense. But the storyline was not everyone's favorite, understandably. They are making a third eventually. I know Neil Druckmann, the man in charge of the whole project, pretty much has stated that he's got ideas for it, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. He has an idea for where he wants the storyline to be, and of course they've got projects like the show going on and all that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of I saw this TikTok that was a lot of crazy shit from behind the scenes where actors and people helping to design and make the game were getting like death threats because everyone hated the second game so much. Yeah, that bad. One lady, it broke my heart. I don't remember who she was, but she said that people hated her character so much that they were sending her death threats, and that was like she could tolerate it, but then they started like threatening her child.
Oh
She has
hell no!
yeah, she has a kid, and they were threatening because they got that overworked about
I think
some
I did
stupid
hear
decision.
about that somewhere. I feel like I did hear about something along those lines involving The Last of Us 2.
So you people that are causing that problem,
Stop.
fuck you, because I want The Last of Us Part 3. It's still great. I'm sorry that Joel died. What you knew it was gonna happen. It had to. I mean, you got a whole game with him, and it was a really good game. Enjoy that. Now you've got Ellie, who is maybe better. I don't know. I can't make that decision. You can always play the newer version of it. I forget what it's called. I updated it and I haven't played it yet. But they added all kinds of shit to The Last of Us Part 2 for some. I don't know if you want to call it deluxe edition. There's a name for it, but like you can play as Joel or other. There's a ton of other playable characters and skins for every character. But I would absolutely love to be on the project of making the third. I guess yeah, Last of Us Part 3. I don't know what it's gonna be. I just want to be a part of it because that game's awesome. I love it. I've got a Firefly tattoo on my back.
Hell yeah.
Shit's great. Wonderful storyline. a flawed hero, whatever you want to call Joel. It's nutty stuff.
Nutty stuff, man. Speaking of
I
nutty
want to
stuff,
make enemies for the game. What's nutty? Squirrel shit?
Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2.
Oh no. You like the Tony Hawk games?
The Underground 1 and 2, yes. I never got into Pro Skater all that much. I never got into the ones that came after Underground 1 and 2. But Underground 1 and 2, absolute crackhead energy, absolute just crazy shit happening, and getting a sequel or a remake of either of those or both would be fucking insane, and I would love the shit out of that.
Did those ones come with the skateboard controller? Because
No.
that was something else my cousin had. I never saw him play the game, and I haven't played the games either. But one of them had like a pink skateboard that you put on the floor,
Oh,
and it
maybe it
was
was
a
like
controller that you
maybe
move around on.
that was probably Skate or one of the Tony Hawks that came after that because it was probably something to do with the Wii, if I had to guess.
Mm.
But no, I didn't have them. However, those two games I played, I sunk a lot of fucking time into those games, especially the character customization and being able to customize your graffiti tag. That was fun. Being able to customize your skateboard, dude, it's good. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff all around, and I want more of that shit. That was fun. I'd
Dude,
absolutely play the shit out of that.
I actually just thought of another one, nostalgia wise. I think a lot of people would love to see remastered. Actually, I don't know if it has been. I don't think it has been. I need to look this up. You remember Bully?
Oh yeah,
Everyone knows Bully.
I know of it. I never played it though.
Bully video game.
I ain't never
Um,
played her.
I watched PewDiePie play. Ah, yeah, 2006. Let's go. October 17th, 2006. Oh my God. Why is Bully so controversial? Is one of the first questions that pops up. Nah, it's not controversial. Just kidding, it totally is. This title has been converted from the original PlayStation 2 version to the PS4 system. So you can still play this on PS4. I guess it doesn't need anything else then, because I honestly wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to update the graphics or anything in that. I think it's one of those games like the really early GTA's, and it's made by Rockstar too, where it's just super janky, and you can go around in the environment and break the environment and the rules. And I love games like that where the graphics, you know the game comes from an era where you're supposed to be able to get into places you shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
love doing stuff like that.
You used to be able to do that shit with WoW. Can't really do it anymore. They've kind of put a cap on that. But I remember back in the day, vanilla WoW, dude, you could get into places you weren't supposed to be all the time, and it was phenomenal.
They one of the reasons I like a lot of the early or not earlier CODs, but a lot of the there's a lot of Call of Duties that they stop touching after a certain time because they make a new one every year, or at least they did. So there's still bugs,
Yeah.
there's still glitches you can get into. Actually, that's one on my list is one that I would actually like to change myself would be Exo Zombies from Advanced Warfare. I want to keep in all the glitches because those are fun. They have these teleporting grenades. That should give it away immediately. You can do
Oh
anything.
hell yeah.
You can get behind these fences, and in some cases, the problem is that's your only means of survival is to be glitched because you can't fucking fight your way through that shit. After 4 rounds or maybe five, it starts becoming just the worst tasks in the world that you have objectives you have to do, whether it's defusing bombs while being shot at by NPCs with much more powerful guns or
Hell yeah.
like gas going off. It's rescuing hostages was the worst thing. Everyone hated Burger Town for that reason. It became stupid. Or if you played Descent, which was the final map, every 5 rounds you had to go into a mandatory boss fight. And if you didn't beat it, you died. You died in the game and you're done.
Oof.
Fix that because it's a fun map. All the maps were so much fun, but you made it so stupid objective based with all these fucking EMP zombies and everything else. shit that explodes and shatters in your eyeballs. It hurts. It's hard to play the game, but it's fun. I want to play it more, but as soon as I load it up and get 5 rounds deep, I remember why I hated this shit so much.
Yeah, yeah. I like exploitative games like that. You get into places
Yeah.
you can't go and or you're not supposed to go and shit.
Do you have any COD takes?
COD
COD
takes.
hot takes?
I fucking hate COD. It's not a hot take. Everybody hates COD. Even people
Yeah,
that play all the
now.
time hate COD.
Hey, World War II is one of my favorite games of all time. It
I
is my favorite Call of Duty.
I have said this and I will say it again. If they make a Call of Duty Zombies definitive game, I will play it. I will spend money on it. And I already did a rundown of what that means on my main channel. Go check it out. I give a rundown. It's I think my only zombies video I have on my Rustbeard channel. Just go look at it.
Yeah.
And if it was a zombies definitive, where it's just sandboxy as shit and it's only zombies, I'll buy it. I have never given a shit about matchmaking. I've never given a shit about the campaign. I've never given a shit about Call of Duty. But goddamn do I like playing zombies with my buddies. And that's pretty much where I stand with Call of Duty. And that's the only thing that I like about Call of Duty. I only like
Look at him praying.
I like 50% am on board with Warzone still, and that's still a fine line. And that's mainly because one, nobody plays with me anymore, so I don't really give a shit. But like I still cannot get past the fact that I had no desire to play Warzone. Toby said just give it a shot. If you don't like it, turn it off. I played it that one time and I was obsessed. Like I cannot figure out why that happened because that never has ever happened to me with a Call of Duty multiplayer experience ever in my life. But I definitely do not like it as much as zombies. And Call of Duty, just make a zombies definitive already so we can separate ourselves from the rest of the community. Thanks.
Thanks.
That's
Bye.
that's all I want. That's all I want.
Touch grass.
It's what the zombies community wants. I guarantee it. Because most of the zombies community, I am almost willing to bet you, would give a shit less about multiplayer and matchmaking.
Yeah.
They probably only want to do zombies, and that's fair. That's all I want to do.
Problem is, where's the money at, though? I mean, if people like multiplayer a lot, people like Call of Duty because of the options like that. I know people that absolutely
Dude,
hate the zombies mode, and I know people
fuck
that are only buying Call of Duty for
no.
zombies. So they have to develop stuff for multiplayer, and they have to
They
develop stuff for
have
zombies.
they have the means, they have the resources, they have the money. Trust me, no matter what, they are going to be making money in the deal. I guarantee you, they're going to be making money in the deal.
Yeah.
Because
But they could be making more money.
I'm willing to bet you that there are plenty of people that would buy Zombies Definitive. Plenty.
I would. I'd be one of
I
them.
would. Easy.
There you go. There's two customers. That's at least, I don't know. They'll probably charge $80 for it,
Yeah.
right?
That's another thing. Make Zombies Definitive, but put a proper price tag on it. Learn from Helldivers. And if you're getting it digitally, don't incorporate the cost of the fucking shipping, distributing, packaging, all that bullshit, you stupid motherfuckers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and please try to keep it under a terabyte for the love of God.
Oh, Jesus. I know, dude. That's another thing that doesn't make any sense. Why are those games so big?
I don't get it. I another thing. Here we go. I'm gonna get angry. Because I see this on TikTok a lot. It's not fucking helpful information because it should have been in the system. The PS5 is a piece of shit console. It really truly is. I hate the PS5 because of many reasons. One of them being these awesome people on TikTok saying, check this out. If you want more storage, what you can do is pop open the system, and there's this hole here where you can slide in this PlayStation brand external hard drive for extra some fucking terabytes. And everyone else is like, "Oh, thank you. I didn't know this option was available. That's so cool. I'm gonna go get one." They're not realizing PlayStation put a fucking hole in it where you're supposed to buy the PlayStation brand external hard drive to plug into your shitty system so that it
Oof.
can hold more than two Call of Duties.
Or if you're getting to the point that Rustbeard is at now, you don't need it because you're not going to buy any more Call of Duties. As a matter of fact, I am uninstalling all of my Call of Duties.
All of them? No, we gotta do another 24-hour zombie stream.
Okay, I'll keep Black Ops 3, but I'm uninstalling all the other ones. Warzone 2, fuck you, man. It's now I'm just pissed off about it because Zombies Definitive doesn't exist.
Sad days, but yeah, um, that's a hill I'll die on. PlayStation 5, bad. Thanks for the
Hey,
hole. Couldn't you have put the actual thing in there?
it's
You're
not
already charging a shitload of money for this console that sucks
it's
and is not.
not nearly as bad
Uh,
as the Switch though, and Nintendo.
what do you mean?
Nintendo's even worse about all that stuff because all of their stuff is their own specific brand of shit, and
Oh
The
yeah,
Switch can also not hold anything. Like the storage on the Switch by itself, dog shit. Which I
yeah. The
get it.
Switch.
It's a portable console. That's fair, but like if you have a spot that you can add a SD card into it to give yourself more space, then you definitely could have just added more space by default.
Yeah,
And the Switch stuff, again, it's all Switch brand or Nintendo brand only.
yeah. The charger for it, right? You can only charge it with the Nintendo charger that's made for it. You
Well,
can't. They've
no,
they've
that's
like.
not true. That's not true. You can
Is it
get
not?
no.
I could have sworn there was
It's
a way that they.
whatever this one is.
Oh my God! What is it, USB-C?
Yeah, USB C.
Okay.
As long as you
I
have a
could have
USB C, you can charge it with that.
I could have sworn it was that console or it was another one where they somehow firewalled it or whatever to where you could only use a very specific charger in it and it wouldn't work if it was a different brand. And then that charger that came with it, you couldn't use that to plug into anything else. It could only go charger and
No,
console together.
no, I've debunked that. Because I've charged my phone with the Switch charger before, so
Ah,
and I've
all right.
charged the Switch with my phone charger before, so
Well,
so
good. You hold me back before I start slandering Nintendo because they are very quick to pass out lawsuits.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah,
But
no,
also,
I feel
please,
you.
send me more DS stuff. Appreciate you, Nintendo. Love you.
I cannot wait for them to announce the Switch 2, man. They're on it. There's a bunch of leaks
I
happening right now. There's a lot of like speculation going on right now, and
Yeah, you finally saw it.
it's supposedly going to be pretty much what the Switch was, but take out all the shit that was bad about the Switch.
Yeah, I thought I said this on here that they were just improving the stuff that sucked, and they're not taking away any of the good stuff.
Oh, you must have been why I went down that rabbit hole then, because I think the next day
Yeah,
after we got done recording that, I went down a rabbit hole and was looking up a bunch of shit for it, and I think they're gonna probably announce it sometime in June, or at least some kind of tease in June maybe. But
that's one thing that's been pretty good about Nintendo is that like they've always had an amazing like they have handheld consoles figured out. They've done it since the start, but like they always improve their consoles. They don't actually like try to do everything new. They just improve on what they already had for the
well,
most part.
let's talk about the Wii U for a second.
Okay, let's not talk about the Wii. I actually forgot about that console. That's probably how bad it
Exactly.
was. Okay, but if you look at DS models, they upgrade those
Yeah, their
every year until
handhelds
they stop.
they've had a monopoly on the handheld market for a while.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, the Switch was
nobody gives a shit about
crazy.
the Vita or the PSP. Nobody gives a shit about those.
Oh my God, the PSP had so much potential. And then
I
they
had
now
one.
have they have this stupid shit with the that you can do with your PS5. I think that's sort of like a PSP. Have you seen this?
Maybe.
So it's I forget if it's the tablet that comes with it or if it's your phone that goes in, but it's a controller deck that's like
Oh
this
yeah.
wide.
Yeah.
It's like a surfboard
So you can
that
like
you're supposed to be able to play your PS5 with.
this, but extended like this far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and no, it does not look nearly as good as the Switch does.
yeah, I feel you. I only had
You
one
got any
other
more?
game on my list, but there is one I would
I
like.
did.
There's one I'd like a sequel for that's not on my list.
What is it?
Death's Door.
Not heard of it. I haven't heard of any of these.
Death's
Except,
Door.
well,
You've heard of Tony Hawk.
yeah, he's that wheelchair guy, right?
No, that's Tony Hawking. Um,
Oh my bad.
no, Death's Door was made by Gearbox, I'm pretty sure. Same people that made Borderlands, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that one. I'm pretty sure it was, though. However, Death's Door is pretty fun. I haven't beat it yet. I need to beat it. I need to get back on. But it was a perfect Switch game. I got it on PC initially, but once they find, because I think it was only on Xbox and PC for a while, but they finally got it on PlayStation and Switch, and I immediately got it for the Switch because the way that it plays, in my opinion, is perfect for the Switch because it can easily be a very cool handheld game, but also it's gorgeous. So if you're able to play it on a big screen, even better. But
Mm.
it's really fun. It's super fun, and if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, anybody watching or you, Peyton, you should definitely check it out. It's pretty fun. But also the soundtrack, bruh, dude,
Bruh.
one of the best video game soundtracks ever, in my opinion. I love it. I listen to the shit out of it to the point where I want to say back in 2021, it was in my Spotify Wrapped as like my number one artist.
Oh my God, man.
I love this soundtrack. It's so good. But yeah, Death's Door, a sequel would be phenomenal. I know it's a fairly new game, but it's been a couple years now. They definitely could make a sequel.
You better get on that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Make some phone calls.
I
The only other
there you
one
go.
on
What
my
to do,
list
girl?
was COD Ghosts because that was my favorite
Fuck out
before
of
World War
here.
II.
Stop talking
No,
about Call of Duty. Fucking
dead ass.
shill.
Hey, man, if there wasn't so much room for improvement, I wouldn't have had to talk about it. Ghosts had a phenomenal campaign, and at its time, I was like, this is modern warfare. Like the concept of what modern warfare would look like, even though it's placed in the future with buildings crumbling and crazy shit happening on the ISS and all that. It was it was lit, all right. Get to the end of the campaign and Rourke's like, there ain't gonna be any ghosts. And I was like, holy shit, they're gonna make a sequel. They didn't, but they'll remaster it. They've got like 10 games to go in a line here. We're already on Modern Warfare 3, right? They got remastered?
Yep.
Yep. I just gotta wait. I gotta wait patiently. But I went back and I tried replaying that campaign after I did the World War II campaign. And I couldn't play because I couldn't see anything because of all the pixels. Everything in that game is like a light brown dust. It sucks. I
I'm
can't
pretty
see, I
sure.
can't shoot.
Pretty sure Ghosts was pretty mixed as far as the community goes. I don't think there was a lot of people that liked it.
I think everybody, okay, you had like a majority of people that hated Extinction, a niche group that said it's the best thing that's ever happened, and a lot of people said this is a phenomenal campaign. And then I don't know how people felt about multiplayer.
I don't know.
24/7 hot dog place, I forget the name of that one. That was fun.
I don't know. I fucking hate Call of Duty. I don't know, dude.
Really, you don't say.
Anyway, my last one, the last one on my list is the one I was referencing earlier with the way that I would like Draken Ancient Gates to be remade. I would like them to do the same with Medieval 2. Medieval 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time, other than World of Warcraft. I have Dan's skull tattooed on my leg. I love this game so much. And they remade their first game on the PSP, but they changed a bunch of shit about it. People fucking hated it. It was a disaster. But then they remade the first one again on the PS4. But this time they made it a spitting image of the original game, but with today's graphics. And it looks bussin'. I mean, it looks fucking amazing. I pre-ordered that game faster than I've ever pre-ordered anything in my life. I got the pre-ordered deluxe edition thing or whatever that has the extra like bits and shit in it or whatever. It came with like the original soundtrack and all this shit, and like a bunch of art pages and stuff. But it is pretty much a copy and paste of the original game, including the same original voice lines from the original game, from the PlayStation 1 game. It's great, but obviously everything's enhanced, so it's all enhanced to 4K. It plays so much better. Oh my god, the controls are so much more smooth. It looks phenomenal. The only gripe that I have with it whatsoever, and I think this is pretty standard across the board for anybody that was a fan, is that it kind of got rid of a little bit of the Tim Burton-esque aesthetic, and it made it more dark and gloomy and shit, which is cool. I mean, it is a really dark, fucked up kind of theme, but the thing that was really cool about the original game was it just felt like you were playing a Tim Burton game, you know, and that's just kind of the art style that was going on. But other than that, dude, it's phenomenal. It looks great, and I want them to do the same exact thing that they did with that, but with Medieval 2, because for whatever reason, I played way more of Medieval 2 than I ever did Medieval 1 for some reason. And it's just super nostalgic for me, and I think that they need to do it. That's it. However,
they're gonna after this.
in the PlayStation Studio teaser trailer or development trailer or whatever that they announced, the PlayStation 2 Studio, or maybe it's Sony. No, it's PlayStation Studios. Same studios doing The Last of Us and all that stuff. I'm almost positive this is like a teaser thing for movies and TV adaptations, other media other than games, because I'm pretty sure just about everything else in this trailer was stuff that is already a show or that is going to be, it's already been announced to be a show or a movie or something like that, because I think Crash was in it or something, and I think there's a movie coming about Crash. But
oh no,
but in this fucking teaser, right at the like it's a couple seconds in, there's a camera pan that just pans up and you can see Dan's fucking boot standing on the rock, and it pans up just before it gets to his sword, and then it cuts away, and I'm like, whoa, dude. What? There's no fucking way that they're making a fucking medieval movie. That's not happening. However, it's in the PlayStation Studios teaser, like I said, and I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that the studio is for, is other media other than games. Because the other stuff that was put into the trailer was stuff that's already been announced for movies and for TV shows and shit like that. But Dan's fucking boot is in that goddamn trailer, and I could not be so fucking... Oh my god, dude. I'm just so pumped about it. I don't know what it means, but I don't give a shit, because he's there and that's all that matters.
Crash is gonna put on the boot and he's gonna go fight Dr. Cortex, Neo Cortex in it. He's gonna kick his ass. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna go ooga booga booga when he puts it on.
No, he's gonna just recruit Dan, Sir Daniel Fortescue. He's gonna come back from the dead once again and go help him fight Cortex. Or it could be a Medieval 2 remake. I'm happy one way or another. I don't give a shit. Also, if anybody remembers PlayStation All-Stars, that was a flop. But anybody that did play it, everybody already knows that Dan was the GOAT in that game. He was the best character. Fan favorite, as a matter of fact.
Well, then it sounds like there's a promising future there.
Well, it would be if PlayStation All-Stars actually mattered.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking liked that game. I have it. I ended up getting it, but it wasn't fun. And I only ever played as Dan because that's my boy. But, however, the ultimate ability that you get as Dan in PlayStation All-Stars references Medieval 2, not Medieval 1. I'm almost positive.
Okay.
So, that's kind of cool. My point is, they're definitely pointing in the direction of 2 being something that people liked a lot. And I think that's good. That's good. And I hope that they do it.
I hope so too for you, because I don't know. Maybe I'll get into it afterward if they do it and it's a success.
It's fun, dude. Dude, if Medieval One goes on sale or whatever, or if they have it free on one of the free months or whatever, you should definitely check it out. It's pretty fun. Good old
I may
classic PlayStation One style platforming hack and slash kind of thing. I don't know what to really call it, but
oh goody.
it's I mean it's each level is their own thing, but you can go anywhere in the level. It's not like a side scroller or anything like that.
Oh my god, dude, I forgot about one. We don't really have time, but Dante's Inferno,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Bring that
That'd be
back.
sick.
Bring it back in 4K Ultra HD,
So I can see the
killing
vagina monsters.
nipple babies. Sorry, babies with Edward baby scissor hands coming out of nipples
Hell yeah, that's
and
my kink.
deciding whether you want to spare souls or send them to hell.
Yes,
Yeah, fantastic game there. But
yeah, I'm here for that.
yeah, well, hey, guess what, Jacob? I just got an email. Um, all of the developers of these games that we were talking about said, "Hey, we saw the podcast, and you know what? You made good. You guys made some good points."
Your
So,
comments are also flooded with tons of adoring fans that want these games to be made, so we're doing it right now. That's what they said.
yep, they're making it happen. By the time this airs, we probably you're welcome.
You
That's
think
all we can say, really, is you're welcome. You got because obviously all of you want these games that we were talking about.
you could thank us later, or now if you want.
Yeah, now you can send my check on over to the Patreon. You're gonna
Let
support us.
let us know down in the comments below what your favorite way to say thank you to On Thin Ice is.
I, I don't want to hear about what games that you would want to
No,
remake or remaster. I just wanted to hear your
top
gratitude.
10 top 10 best thank yous to On Thin Ice for making this happen.
Top 10 best apology videos on YouTube. No, that video already exists.
Oh
That's
shit!
uh that's a good wrap right there though. Video games are fun.
Hell yeah, hell yeah they are, especially old ones,
Yeah. And then there's Helldivers too.
and also Helldivers too. Which everybody, everybody, make sure you just as often as possible go to the new Bonnie's channel, comment on all of his videos, and tell him to get Helldivers too,
Yeah, but wait
and
until the
and
end
this
of
one.
all of them. Like watch them all the way. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't. Don't watch my videos. Listen to
watch,
my music. Don't watch my
watch
videos.
all of his
Actually, don't
videos
even
as
do
well,
that.
especially the
This
ones
is
that I'm
the
in.
only place. This is the only place you should know me from, or
Nope.
the Pizzaverse. Even that's skeptical. We're back.
Oh,
We'll be back
speaking of
here next. Oh my God, you got more.
the
All right,
piece,
let's hear it.
the Pizzaverse on Cosmic Pizza, go watch it.
Any more plugs we can think of? I like to thank my dog. I like to thank my teachers.
The locker, also that dog in me.
Yeah, the locker, that dog in me. If TuneCore doesn't hate us, then the loveliest lies of all.
Yep, the loveliest
That's
lives of
out.
all.
That's out by this time.
Definitely. And then probably
Oh
like
my.
six more bangers that we end up making because I'm gonna definitely
Oh
get
my
these plugins made
God.
or figured out.
Is there anything else I'm missing? Did we forget anybody down here? We good?
I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank PlayStation Studios for putting in that Sir Daniel Fortescue teaser in the
All right,
trailer.
shut up. We'll see you all next Monday. Until then, thank you for tuning in to On Thin Ice. We'll have another cracking icebreaker, open a cold one for you on the show where Jacob end it, please. Goodbye.
Bye.